Hey, Alchemist! The Euphoria Season 3 trailer just dropped this week, so I'm going to react. And if you're playing catch up, as a reminder, Season 2 didn't really so much end with a resolution as it did end with a kind of emotional respite. And it seems like Rue was narrating from somewhere between the sort of sobriety and whatever comes next. So as I'm watching this trailer, one of the questions I'm going to have in my mind is not so much if Rue is going to relapse. It's more like how long can she stay present in her own reality? And when will the consequences of everyone's actions finally catch up to them? Let's have a look.
A few years after high school, I don't know if life was exactly what I wished. But somehow, for the first time, I was beginning to have faith.
Ooh.
Hello, Rue. You owe me money.
You know, I'm of the belief that certain people are cursed.
I work all day. My bride-to-be is spread eagles on the internet.
I was just making content.
I don't pretend to know why, but there's gotta be something wrong with them.
Are you seeing anyone? No. You hear about Jules?
It's not that weird. Every girl I meet is a sugar baby.
Yeah, but you don't do it.
No, I'm not a fucking hooker.
Wherever these unlucky folk go, there's a cascade of trouble.
You walk up into my house, dance with my girls,
Be a big bad.
and you don't even introduce yourself.
Home, motherfucker!
It's a new chapter, all right? You gotta have
Wow,
faith.
Rosalia.
Hey, girl, Rue, I take her.
Rue belongs to us.
The problem is, if you make a deal with the devil, there's no turning back.
Tell me something. You believe in God?
Yeah.
Well, let's see if he believes in you.
Okay. Ooh. All right. So the first thing that jumps out at me is the tone. This season looks a lot darker than anything we've seen so far. And if season one was really like about, I don't know, excess and um, addiction, intoxication, about setting up the world, and season two to me felt a bit more like consequences. Then this season, season three, looks like it's going to be a bit more about the reckoning. We're a few years after high school, and I'm really glad they made that jump because that would have been, that would have been kind of ridiculous not to age with the characters at this point. And so we're seeing Rue. Looks like she's mixed up with a bad crowd, more dangerous crowd. And Laurie's back. I actually like that character. Laurie. I was actually wondering when is that suitcase of drugs going to come back to haunt her. So it looks like that bill is finally coming due. Another thing that really struck me is Cassie and Nate. There was that chilling line at the end of season two when Maddie tells Cassie, "Oh, it's just the beginning." And this trailer feels like that line is getting cashed. Nate looks like he's back to his old tricks, his control, his dominance, power, and Cassie still seems trapped in that core wound of seeking validation and love at any cost. It definitely feels like trouble in paradise for the newlyweds. Okay. We also got some really interesting shifts, it seems, with the other characters. Like Maddie's role seems to be a little bit more ambiguous, but it looks like there's hints that she's navigating her own form of survival. Maybe she's also a sex worker. It feels like season three is really more heavily integrating like the themes of sex, money, and agency in a way that the earlier seasons kind of only hinted at or poked at. Then there's some new faces. Oh my God, Rosalia, I heard was joining the cast. She's definitely a huge part of that trailer. And also, of course, there's the absence of some really familiar faces. So Angus Cloud in particular. I think one of the reasons why I miss him so much, I love that character, Fez, is because he was an anchor. He was an emotional anchor. He brought such steadiness and calm to a show that's just defined by chaos. And without that emotional anchor, it'll be really interesting to see how Rue and Lexi and the rest of the gang orient themselves in the next chapter. So yeah, I'd say season 3 doesn't really feel so much like redemption. It feels like the consequences coming home to roost. Euphoria season 3 will be premiering on HBO on April 12th, and I'll definitely be watching. What are you most curious or nervous to see this season? Let me know, and make sure to subscribe for more breakdowns.